Zombie apocalypse.
How's it going, everybody? This is Taba Drabo. Hope you're all having another great day, and welcome back to another video. So once again, this is another random thoughts video, where in this mini-series I'll talk about whatever is on my mind, whether it's something interesting in the world, in politics, entertainment, sports, or anything like that, or if there's an interesting event or something in my life that I just want to talk about, or pretty specifically, if I just want to rant about something. Do you ever feel like that as a kid growing up, you really enjoyed snow so much that you really enjoyed it whenever you have a snow day, but as you grow up as an adult, you realize that snow is really starting to play a negative effect in your life? Well, that's exactly what has happened to me recently, and that's exactly what I want to talk about for this random thought. And I say that because this winter has been one of the snowiest winters I've been a part of in such a long time, and I say that because it seems like one week it seems that we're out of the big snowstorm that happens, and then the very next week all of a sudden we have another one which is almost like 5 or 8 inches each, and it feels like that winter has never ended, and it feels like this has probably been one of the longest winters I've been a part of in nearly a long time, to be honest with you. It feels like this winter has almost never ended. Just take a look at how much snow that has fallen this winter. I mean, we've had almost like one 25 to 30 inch snowstorm earlier this year already. Since then we've had at least 2 or 3 more 5 to 8 inch snowstorms to go along with it. And snow, I really used to love snow as a kid, but as I grew up I realized that every time it snows it's really a bad thing, and that's really because it really messes up a whole lot of my life, and because of that it really just makes it hard for me to be able to find something to do or even just keep the routine that I even currently have right now. And so for this video I want to talk about some of the reasons why I now hate snow as an adult, and why snow is just not as much fun now as it was in the past. And trust me, I can go on and on about this, but I just want to keep it to a few specific reasons, because there are plenty of reasons why snow may have been fun as a kid, but now it is not as much fun anymore as an adult. So the first reason why I hate snow now is because it's really not as safe now as it was when you were a kid. Like when you were a kid, whenever it started snowing, you would just go out and do snowflakes, build snowmen, and even have snowball fights, and really you just take it like you were a grown-up. I mean, snow was just so much fun as you were a kid. You just live and have fun without the fear of being hurt. Not so much as an adult now. And I say that because whenever it snows as an adult, you always have to fear for your personal safety, and that's been something this winter especially that I've had to take a lot more worry about myself, because there have been plenty of times where snow has really affected my safety throughout the course of this winter. For example, it freezes literally everything. I can tell you right now that a couple of occasions there were a few snowstorms where whenever I tried to go to work or something, my car would end up freezing. The windshields and the windows will end up freezing, and there would be so much snow on it that I would have to take several minutes having to blow all the snow off my car, and I'd even have to wait a few more minutes just for the windows to fall off, so that way I can have a clear view to be able to drive again. And even after that, you know, the vision of all that is so blurry with all the snow falling around you. It makes it so hard for you to be able to walk straight or even just drive straight as well without the fear of having an accident, because you know, snow has the tendency as an adult to make you fear of getting injured or even hurt and something like that. And you know, that has happened to me so many times, because you know, every time snow has fallen I had to drive so much slower. I always had the fear of if I ended up going too fast or if I ended up slipping a little bit too hard, I'd end up getting hurt in an accident or something. And trust me, I've done overnight shifts where at least 2 or 3 times it has snowed in the middle of the night, and there was so much snow on the road I literally had to drive at such a snail's pace at almost 20-25 miles an hour that I had a lot of trouble with even just trying to keep the car straight. I mean, I was only able to stay straight because there were paths that were in front of me from previous cars that had driven before me, and you know, that's the only reason why I'm even able to drive home safely, because of all of that. But yeah, driving in snow is definitely not fun. And not only that, the sidewalks are also very slippery, because with all the snow and cold weather it can freeze into ice as well, and if you're not careful you can slip and end up hurting your back, your legs, your arms, or any part of your body. And trust me, that's definitely not fun. That can cause some very serious injury. You know, as a kid, it was just a lot more fun to be reckless and just go out in the snow and have fun. And even if you got hurt, as long as you enjoyed being in the snow, that's all that matters. Not so much as an adult now. Whenever it snows, you fear for your safety, and there are so many things that can go wrong whenever it's snowing outside when it comes to that particular topic. The next reason why I hate snow is because it messes up your routine. And there could be a lot of things that you have planned for today that could be really messed up as a result of a snowstorm. Like for sometimes, like as I said before, I usually would have to have an overnight shift at work, or even I just go out and walk. And unfortunately, because of the snowstorm, there would be times where unfortunately I wouldn't even be able to get out of the house and do my 2-hour walks like I usually do, because there is so much snow falling that it's just really hard for me to be able to walk outside without the fear of slipping on something, or ending up slipping so much that I end up into traffic and end up getting hit by somebody. Trust me, that would be very bad if I would end up going out in a snowstorm and not being able to see anything and end up getting hurt because of that. Or like in an overnight shift, usually, like I said, I work as a receiver at Lowe's. Sometimes because of that, there would be no truck coming there, or at CVS where I work as a sales associate, because of all the snow that's falling down. And because of that, what else is there for me to do? There's really not a whole lot for me to do. And so unfortunately, there are times where I may end up only having a shortened shift where I only do certain things that I'm not used to, or they may just ask me to not come to work at all. And you know, that leaves me with very little to do in my day as a result of that. I mean, what are you going to expect me to do all day in the house with nothing to do when I can't go out and walk and go out and do my shifts? I mean, just lie in my bed all day and watch TV, something like that? No, I gotta at least do something. I mean, I have a few video game consoles, however, unfortunately I've not been able to play that a whole lot because my life has been so busy with all the jobs that I'm currently having, and more importantly, you know, just being able to pay everything just so I can get my own house and find a career in TV and film. And trust me, you know, I gotta find something to do. And unfortunately, when there's a lot of snow falling, it really messes up your routine. And so unfortunately, it's just not very fun because you gotta sit home and try to find something to do while it's out there snowing. Number 3 is because it feels like that winter is never ending. It really feels that whenever it is snowing, especially for large amounts of periods of time, it feels like you're never going to get out of winter, and it's going to take a very long time before spring ever ends up happening. This winter, it really feels like that's exactly what it's been like, because every single week it seems like there's just another pop-up shower or even a big snowstorm or two that falls down. And as a result of that, unfortunately, you know, it just feels like that winter is going to keep going forever and ever and ever. It's just never going to get to spring, and for some reason I just feel like that's exactly what's happening. I can remember last winter there was almost very little snow that we had on the ground. It was just like a normal regular winter, although yes, we did have some pretty cool temperatures of course, but there wasn't really any major snowstorm last winter, and as a result it just felt like a normal winter. This one though, it didn't really feel like it because there's just so much snow falling on the ground that it just really changes the dynamic of everything that we go through in our lives. And because of that, you just get the feeling that you end up being in your home a lot because of these snowstorms, and because of that you just have so little to do that because of all of it, you just feel like that you're doing nothing. And as a result, you know, you just feel like that it's never going to end. Obviously it will end come next month, or hopefully maybe in April, because next month is supposed to be when spring starts. But you know, whenever it does snow a whole lot like this, you know, it feels like that it's gonna last forever. And unfortunately, you know, sometimes it's just not fun whatsoever. The 4th reason why I hate snow now is because once it stops snowing, that's when you have to clean all of it up. And trust me, that can be especially brutal. There are plenty of times over the last 4 years where I can tell you that whenever there was a big snowstorm, I had to go out and help with my dad with cleaning out all the snow from the driveway, as well as all my cars, and as well as the sidewalk, and even the stairs that I used to be able to get into my house now and then. And trust me, that can take a whole lot of work to do. And I say that because usually whenever there is snow on the ground, yes, you gotta clean it up. Obviously it's a man's job and somebody's gotta do it. But what if there's a whole lot of snow or too much snow? That's when it can be really challenging. Cleaning up snow can be time consuming, and usually a lot of the times when there's too much snow, and if you're not careful, you can really risk hurting yourself. And there have been a few times in recent years where whenever I've been trying to clean out the snow on the stairs, or even even in the driveway and all that. You know, there were so many times that I had to bend over just to be able to get all that snow that I really risked hurting my back or even slipping and falling and hurting myself because there was just so much snow that I had to clean up on the ground. It's just really hard for me to be able to clean all that without the fear of getting hurt or something like that. And yeah, I mean, obviously we all have to do it. You know, it's the only way we're going to be able to get out of the house or be able to go somewhere or something like that. We all have to do our part to be able to clean off all the snow out of the house and just to make sure that everything is neat and safe so that way we can go out and do our regular day. But again, it just takes a whole lot of time to do. If you were a kid, you wouldn't have to worry about that. You could just play in the snow or be at home and enjoy your hot chocolate. But as an adult, you gotta do adult things. And taking all that snow off your cars and cleaning out the house and all of that because of it, it takes so much time. It's like you can be out there for maybe like a half hour or maybe even longer now, depending on the amount of snow on the ground. And I can remember because of the huge snowstorm that we had earlier this month, it took me almost like an hour or two before my dad and I were able to clean out all the snow from the cars and the driveway and everything else around the house. Trust me, it's a very hard thing to do. And if you don't have the right equipment, whether it's the shovels, snowballs and all that, it can be a huge pain to be able to get all the snow off the ground. And trust me, it is just not fun having to do something like that. Finally, the fifth and most important reason why I hate snow as an adult now is very simply to summarize everything that I just talked about today. It's just not fun anymore. Really, it was fun as a kid when you can just go out and play in the snow. As an adult, not so much anymore. I say that because as we grow up, snowstorms really tend to start playing a negative effect in our lives. It really just hampers everything that we do week in and week out. And during the winters, when there's a whole lot of snow, while it may be fun to just stay at home and just do nothing all day, that's not something that we all want to do. We want to go out there and enjoy your life. Get out there and enjoy the environment. Go out and do your day shifts and even just do some exercise and all that. Whenever snow comes down, as an adult, it's just not fun. You know, there are plenty of times as a kid where you can just go out and just walk around in the snow, but as an adult, you know, whenever you're having to get to a commute or something like that, when there's so much snow on the ground, like I said, it can be hard to get there. If there's so much snow on the ground, you may be forced to not be able to go to work depending on how much it is. And because of all the snow that falls on the ground, there's a good possibility that you may end up being in your house all day and there's very little that you can really do about it. And like I've said before, like what are you gonna do all day? I mean, you got nothing but to play video games or even stuff yourself with food or get fat or something like that. I mean, unless you have an exercise equipment, which obviously I really like to have, but I mean, there's really nothing that you can do. Snow just makes your life more boring. And in a sense, it feels like it's a lot more dangerous than rain. And there are so many things that you enjoyed as a kid that was really not as funny anymore as an adult, like birthdays, for example. Usually as a kid, whenever you celebrated a birthday, you would have big parties and you would just wish that it would never end. That's not the same as an adult anymore. Now as an adult, whenever you're celebrating your birthday, there's really no parties. It's really just get up, go to work, go maybe have a dinner and celebrate with a cake slice or two and just go home and sleep. It's just another regular day for anybody, even if it's a regular birthday. And because of that, you know, there's just so many things that you enjoy in your life as a kid that as you get older, all the fun is just starts to disappear because you realize it's just not as fun as it was anymore. And snow, unfortunately, is part of that equation because snow, because of how much it falls and how precarious the situation is whenever it does fall, there's a whole lot more things that we have to do as an adult when it comes to tackling snow than we did as a kid. It just puts so much hard stuff for us to do in our lives, and it's a lot more pressure to be able to get a whole lot of things done because of the snow. And yeah, that's exactly why snow is just not very fun anymore as an adult. You know, you have to fear for your safety, you have to fear for making sure you're able to get to your commutes and stuff like that. You have to worry about finding something to do when there's too much snow on the ground. You have to fear making sure that everything's off in the house and your car's in the driveway, and more importantly, it could just feel like that winter will never end. And because of all the snowstorms that we've had this winter, like I said, it just feels like that this winter has never ended, and unfortunately may feel like that's not going to end anytime soon. So hopefully we don't have any more snowstorms in the near future, because I can tell you right now, I've already had enough of the snow. I just want to get back out there and have a normal life I usually would, without the fear of ending up slipping on the road or end up getting hurt or something like that, because I need to get a lot of stuff done in my life, and there's a lot of things that I got going on planned that, you know, we all got prepared for everything that's going to be happening in the future. And you know, the spring's coming, and I can tell you right now, I just cannot wait for the spring to come because I really have had enough of the snow. And yeah, there are a lot more reasons why I hate snow now as an adult than I did as a kid, but those are just some of the reasons why I hate snow. And trust me, like I said before, and I'll say it one more time, snow is not fun as an adult. So if you ever go out in the snow, be very careful because you'll never know what happens in a major snowstorm. It is very unpredictable out there. Alright, that's gonna do it for another video. Hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you'd like to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when my latest video is released. As always, be sure to comment below on future video suggestions like vlogs, projects, challenges, or even another random thoughts video like that. You name it, please leave it in the comments below and I'll do my best to make them. And as always, follow me on my social media. All the links are in the description below. That's gonna do it for another video. Hope you all having another great day. Please stay safe during the time of this winter, and as always, I hope to see you all again next week in another video. So long, everybody.